Hi everyone, I'm John Nim, Managing Director of Meridian Circle Advisors. In connection with the end of the quarter and in lieu of our quarterly letter, I wanted to share with you some thoughts to our friends, family, clients, and partners. Today is October the 9th, 2020. There is a global pandemic. There have been months of race riots and civil unrest in a U.S. presidential election year. Last week it was announced that the United States GDP is down 32.9% year over year, the lowest decrease in U.S. modern history since the U.S. Department of Commerce began recording GDP in 1947. The President, White House officials, members of the House and Senate have tested positive for the coronavirus. To quote Joshua Cooper Ramo in his book, The Age of the Unthinkable, which I completed this week, we are now at the start of what may become the most dramatic change in the international order in several centuries. This change is irresistible. It is infectious. It will spread to every corner of our lives, to our businesses, our bank accounts, our hopes, and our health. What we face isn't a single shift or revolution like the end of World War II or the collapse of the Soviet Union or a financial crisis, so much as an avalanche of ceaseless change. It is change that will render institutions that seem unshakable, weak, and unstable. It will elevate movements that look weak into positions of great power. As much as we may wish it, our world is not becoming more stable or easier to comprehend. We are entering, in short, what is a revolutionary age. This revolution is creating unprecedented disruption and dislocation. It is also creating new fortunes, new power, fresh hope, and a new global order. Revolutions, after all, don't only produce losers, they also produce a whole new cast of historical champions. Looking at the world today, nothing that has happened between March of 2009, when Ramo published this book, and October of 2020 that would indicate anything other than this revolutionary age. In many respects, American politics and economics have reached a state what scientists call hysteresis, meaning to be late in the original Greek, where a system goes cataclysmic and it is likely impossible to return to its original state. We have a pandemic which triggers an economic crisis, which sets off race riots, and then a global trade war. Maybe, eventually, an actual hot war. This week, Henry Kissinger said of US and China, our leaders and their leaders have to discuss the limits beyond which they will not push threats and how to define that. You can say this is totally impossible, but if it is, we will slide into a situation similar to World War I. As we move forward into the election and past it into 2021, I want to share with you my developing worldview on ways to address this constant state of change and uncertainty. Grounded in resiliency, anti-fragility, and empathy, our strategy will focus on learning, anticipating, and shifting with an appreciation for the background effects and empathy for our team and competitors. We will endeavor to operate with optionality and greater connections to absorb small shocks, to adapt in order to develop a greater defense against our worst nightmares and survive with our core attributes intact. Thank you everyone for your birthday wishes yesterday, and have a great weekend.